Hello dear students, I am Sandeep Gaikwad. In this today's session, I am going to talk about call flow or the call procedure or call termination procedure that can be possible in GSM network or mobile communication. In this particular topic, we can see the different procedure or the logical channel that we have discussed already in previous some of my videos, where we have seen there are logical channel and physical channel. I also told you that logical channels are useful for handshaking and the call establishment procedure. So different logical channels are playing roles in the call establishment, call maintenance, and call disconnection. Let us give a look over here about the mobile station and BSS. Students, BSS is nothing but BTS, base transceive system, and mobile and a base station controller. So BTS and BSC, it is in the BSS system. So to initiate call setup, mobile station is sending a request. So we can see over here request signaling channel. So RACH. So mobile station sends a signaling channel request to the network through random access channel. This random access channel, in the last session we have seen, it is only as a working as a uplink. It is used by mobile station to access the network. So any random time, whenever it is expected by the end user to give a call to anybody at any random time, user can use this call procedure. For that, random access channel is playing very important role. Further, base station controller informs mobile station of the allocated signaling channel through access grant channel. As I told you, BSS, it consists of BTS and BSC. So base station control informs mobile station about the access grant. Now what is this access grant? That also we have seen, it is nothing but a downlink only. So it is from BTS or BSC to the mobile station. It is used by the network to assign a signaling channel upon successful decoding of access burst. So it is kind of acknowledgement, or it is granting the access. Later on, mobile station sends the call origination request via SDCCH. We have also seen standalone dedicated control channel. So this standalone dedicated control channel main role is it is going to set up the call. So in its functionality, it is going to support in both the link, uplink as well as downlink. It is useful for call setup, location update, and it is sending some of the related messages. Later on, mobile switching center instruct base system controller to allocate a traffic channel for this call, and then mobile station acknowledge the traffic channel assigned through FACCH. So fast associated control channel, we have seen that is related to dedicated control channel. That is also useful whenever any uh, communication is happening or handover is going to happen in the call procedure. It is also supporting uplink and downlink. We know it is associated with traffic channel only. It is used to send fast messages like handover messages. It is work by stealing traffic bus. So these are the few things that we have already discussed. This is what is the procedure and the logical channel that can be there while setting the certain things. So mobile station to BSS. Now dear students, this is the flow about mobile to PSTN call release process. So it is call releasing process. When mobile station want to release the call, and that call, if it is established between mobile station and PSTN, public switch telephone network, you students are knowing this mobile PSTN is nothing but a landline network. So the mobile to landline, if it is already established and if call releasing procedure has to happen, then that request of disconnection will be sent by mobile station first. It goes to the MSC. MSC gives release note again to the PSTN network, and later on it also gives release command to the mobile station to release it based upon the disconnection request sent by the mobile station. As the release process complete message sent by mobile station, it also observes the release completion procedure done by public switch telephone network, and then later on mobile switching center it gives the clear command to the BSS, and then BSS again give release the command to the mobile station that channel has to be released, and the same thing it is later on informing to the mobile switching center that it has completed releasing the process. We will see again, once again, just remember the flow. We will see this in next slide once again. Here we have assumed mobile user initiates the release of call. At the end of the call, mobile station sends the disconnect message to the mobile switching center. On receiving the disconnect message, mobile switching center sends a release message to the public switch telephone network to release the call. MSC asks the mobile station to begin its clearing procedure using the release message. PSTN sends a release complete message to MSC. After the MSC has performed its clearing procedure, it informs the same to the MSC through release complete message. MSC sends a clear command message to BSS to ask it release all the allocated dedicated resources for a given connection, like TCH traffic channel that has given to that particular communication. BSS sends a channel release message to the mobile station to release traffic channel. The BSS sends a clear complete message to the MSC informing it that all the allocated dedicated resources have been released. This is what is the procedure of call release. Now let us give a look over here, the call procedure. Telephone calls over cellular network require two full duplex radio frequency channels. That is what is the ideal condition, that's what we expect. But in GSM second generation, it was not completely full duplex, but it was kind of half duplex. But we really felt that it is a full duplex because of high switching technology that is used in TDMA access technique. User channels, control channels, these are the different channels that are playing role in the call procedure. There can be three different ways of communication call procedure. Mobile to PSTN call procedure, we can say mobile to landline call procedure, mobile to mobile call procedure, or PSTN to mobile call procedure. Just give a look now in mobile to PSTN call procedure, that is mobile to landline call procedure. The subscriber depresses a send key consisting of wire line telephone number which transmits the called number as well as the mobile's unit identification number over a reverse control channel to the base station. It means when mobile dial the called party number and releases that releases the number dialed of landline network, it is not only sending the dialed party number, but it is also sending the information of identification. That's what we can call as even many times a handset identification number as well as the subscriber identification number. The cell site controller routes the called number over a wire line trunk circuit to MTSO, mobile telephone switching office, MTSO. So trunk lines we have seen already in the second unit. These are the lines that we use for the subscriber from exchange. The MTSO uses Signal System 7 SS7 signaling network to locate a switching path through the PSTN to the destination party. We have seen this in the GSM architecture that uh, the protocol SS7 which is supporting HLR and VLR to the MSC. So this is using the locations identification. Using the cell site controller, the MTSO assigns the mobile unit a non-busy user channel and instruct the mobile unit to tune to the channel. After the cell site controller receives verification that the mobile unit has tuned to the selected channel and it has been determined that the call number is on hook, the mobile unit receives an audible call process tone ring back, while the wireline caller receives a standard ringing signal. If a suitable switching path is available to the wireline telephone number, the call is completed when the wireline party goes off hook. The second type, as we have seen, is PSTN to mobile call procedure. The wireline telephone goes off hook to complete the loop. It receives a dial tone and then inputs the mobile unit's telephone number. The telephone number is transferred from PSTN switch to the cellular network switch that services the destination mobile number. Cellular network MTSO receives the incoming call from public switch telephone network. It translates the received digits and locates the base station nearest the mobile unit, which determines if the mobile unit is on or off hook. If the mobile unit is available, positive page response is sent over a reverse control channel to the cell site controller, which is forwarded to the network switch MTSO. The cell site controller assigns an idle user channel to the mobile unit and then instructs the mobile unit to tune to the selected channel. So proper tuning has to be there. The mobile unit sends verification of channel tuning through the cell site controller. Then cell site controller sends an audible call process tone to the subscriber mobile telephone, causing it to ring. At the same time, a ringback signal is sent back to the wireline calling party. The mobile users goes off hook. The switch terminates the call process tone and the conversation begins. So as soon as it off hooks, then real conversation can begin. Let us give a look into the third category, mobile to mobile call procedure. Again, in this category there can be one more subcategory, that is, it is for mobile to mobile, but it can be between different service providers. So the call can be mobile to mobile call belongs to same service provider, as well as that can be between two different service provider. So accordingly there can be the flow of call. Just give a look over here. The originating mobile unit initiate the call in the same manner as it would for a mobile to wire line call. The cell site controller receives the caller's identification number and the destination telephone number through a reverse control channel, which are then forwarded to the MTSO. The mobile telephone switching office sends a page command to all cell site controller to locate the destination party. Rather, in the present scene, we can say it takes help of HLR and VLR to find the current location of mobile unit where it is requested for call. Once the destination mobile unit is located, the destination cell site controller sends a page request through a